How are you? So, I don't know if you know me, I'm Conrad from the team. Right now I'm in charge of the SCALE program. So we opened the first application process back in February. So we selected the first 9 companies for the program, and so the idea of this meetup is for you to understand what are we looking for, what you should care about during the application process, and what to expect of SCALE. And then we can just open the floor so you can have questions from everybody. See if I can answer them. So what is SCALE offering? So this is a follow-on fund just for companies that pass through Startup Chile the 6 months, right? So we're giving you 60 million pesos. That's for 70% of the total investment. So you will have to invest the remaining 30%, okay? This is a 1-year program, okay? So it's 12 months. So you have 12 months in order to invest this money, and it's going to be given to the company in 2 batches. So at the beginning 30 million, and after 6 months you complete some goals, then we'll give you the other 30 million. So it's just for Chilean companies. You have to have a Chilean company in order to apply. Will not accept applications from people that say that they're going to establish the company after they get selected. You have to have a company in order to apply, okay? So your company will have to put up at least, if you want to get the 60 million, you have to put the remaining 25 million. That's roughly the number, okay? So that's 30% of the total investment. You can say maybe, hey, give me the 60 million, I'll put 40 million because I already have in sales, okay? But I need these 60 million for my activities, okay? So one very important thing is that the alumni from Startup Chile, so the beneficiary, right, has to have at least 15% of the ownership of the company who's going to apply, okay? 15%, just 15%, okay? In the first application process we had 30%, but we're going to lower that because it was a bit too much, okay? Always go back to the terms and conditions, please. Don't just use this presentation. Go back to the terms and conditions, review them, see what expenses that you can do and the ones that you can't, okay? So we're going to select up to 10 companies per batch. So we can select less if we consider there's not very good companies, and you have to figure out how to extend your own visas, okay? We'll give you, for the foreigners, we'll give you the same type of letter we gave you at the beginning for getting the visa, but you have to deal with that process yourself here in Chile, okay? So if you're going to apply and your visa is expiring soon, then take that in consideration and start the process before it expires. Okay, so what's the selection criteria? So we have 3 criteria. The first one is the technology and the impact of the company in the market. So that's 35%. Then the business plan and what are the expected results you have, and what's the team and the collaborators, advisors, mentors. So, and the committee of CORFO is the one who makes the final decision, okay? So, talking about the first criteria, what are the questions that we have? So, does your company has traction? Have you validated the business model? Because we already know that you validated the problem, the product, but Is there a business plan that can work? We need to see that this business plan is starting to work, okay? So what's my technological advantage in the market, okay? How can I maintain this? Do I really have a global market potential? Or is just for Chile, just for Latin America, just for America, okay? You need to explain that. So are my competitors ahead in the region, in Chile? Where are my competitors? And what's my real differentiation in the market? Okay. So talking about the business plan. So why is Chile and Latin America a market or a base of operations for my company? Okay. Because we had a couple of applications in the last batch that they were sometimes great companies, but there were no solid reason for choosing Chile or Latin America as a market or base of operations, okay? There were not substantial reasons for that. So how do I plan to acquire my customers? Why is this going to work, okay? How do I test this hypothesis, okay? Do I have partners, key resources? Do I depend too much on another player from the market? Is there consistency between where my company is now and where I want to be in 1 year? So do I have the resources for that? Talking about the team and collaborators. So do we have an experienced and capable team? Who are the people that we're going to search for in order to take this company forward? Do we have to add more people for developing key aspects of the company? You need to tell us that, okay? Because if we find that there's key elements from the company that, hey, there's nobody talking about developing the product or the business itself. So there's something lacking there. Do we have an advisor or mentors that can help us take the company to the next level? Okay, so those are the criteria, and these are some aspects from the companies that we selected. Okay, they don't fit to all the categories, but most of them fit to a couple of them. Okay, so they have already selling. They are selling 40 to 200K in the last year. Okay, they have this monthly growth. If they're in B2B business, they already have some partnerships, relationship with distributors abroad, not just in Chile. They have a clear and supported plan for choosing Chile as the market base of operations. Okay, because remember that Scale is a follow-on fund created for retaining the startups that went through Startup Chile, but the startups that in reality have an opportunity and prospects in Chile. Okay, have a clear revenue model working. Maybe they raise funds. Okay, and maybe the market is growing more than 10% yearly. Okay, so these are a couple of aspects that you need to see if your company is fitting in at least one of them. Okay. So the next application process is going to be open in the same period of time as the new batch for Startup Chile, the 6 months. So it's going to open May 5th till May 26th. It's going to be an online application from just like the time before. You'll have to put up 2-minute maximum video describing a couple of things from the project. You'll have to attach a couple of documents from the company, so take that in consideration, okay? And remember that only Chilean companies with less than 2 years of activity can apply, okay? So this is my contacts. So right now it's open. You can just fire away and ask me whatever you like. Questions? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So I have a question. So right now we have a company. Okay, so we have the company, and it's based in Brazil and Colombia. One of the criteria is one, that the company is Chilean, and two, like as a plus, I guess, that you have monetized over 40K. So my question is, do we have to have those numbers for the Chilean company? All right, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, understood. Yeah, so you can show sales from a foreign company, but these companies had to be affiliated in some way, okay? So the beneficiary from Startup Chile, that's you, right? So you have to own at least 10% of that company and 10% of the company who's going to apply to Startup Chile. That's described on the terms and conditions, okay? It's there, okay? Yeah.
I was wondering if you're discounting the first Startup Chile money that we received.
No, it's again 6. So if you went through Startup Chile, you have to go through Startup Chile in order to get to scale. Okay. So the first 20 million that you get in Startup Chile are done, and then you'll receive again 60 million pesos in scale. Yeah.
So when you say the companies have to be affiliated, you have to have 10 or 15, I think, percent here and there. Can it be a different company, which you both have 15%? So let's say I was here with one company, but then I have another company, and I also own more than 15%. Can I apply with that other company that didn't go through Startup Chile, but I own part of it?
No. The idea is that both companies are related in the same project. Okay, that's basically the same company. You just open here in Chile a new branch, okay, or you're open here in Chile because you're here. From here, you're going to open Latin America, let's say, okay. Yeah. No one else. No one else. Yeah.
The 30% investment we need to do in order to apply for the follow-on fund, does it need to be upfront, or is it like in Startup Chile we can invest it during the 12 months?
Yeah. So the 30% that you have to invest during the program, you have to invest during the program, not upfront. You have to show in some way that you have that money in sales or from an investment or something, right? But you have to show in the same way as Startup Chile, okay? So the way that you show, hey, this is 90% from Startup Chile, here's my 10%. Then in scale, you're going to have 60% from scale and your 30%, okay? Yeah.
You can apply to scale if you have the SAF from CORFO funds.
At the same time. At the same time?
Yeah, okay, so there's another funds from CORFO called SAF. Do you know about them, right? Most of you. No? Well, there's another funds from CORFO called SAF that you're going to have to go through incubators, okay? So they invest roughly the same amount, but they get some equity from you, right? You cannot have funds from two different funds from CORFO at the same time, never. Okay, so you cannot be in SAF and in scale at the same time. Okay, and if you go to SAF, then it's going to be very difficult for you to get to scale. Okay, because the community already seen that you got one investment from CORFO that is basically very, very similar. Okay, yeah.
Thank you. So one of our team members has been here the whole time, but he was just not one of the 3 listed because you could only list 3 and there's 4 founders. So he's not a beneficiary, but he's the one who's going to stay here in Chile. So it would make sense if he could apply, but he's not strictly an alumnus because he's like an expert.
Yeah, unfortunately that's the case because we need that basically the only one who has a formal relationship with CORFO is the beneficiary, you in this case. The team members don't have any formality or responsibility with CORFO. So it's the beneficiary from Start-Up Chile is the only person that we can use in order to connect these two funds. Okay, because using the project or using the idea of the company would be too it would be not formal. Okay. Yeah.
And does the beneficiary have to be here in Chile for the whole year, or because I could come here every month or so or whatever, and he would stay here?
Yeah, no. So the beneficiary from Startup Chile, during the scale, if they get selected, they don't have to be in Chile for the full year, okay? Because right now we're dealing with a company, not with people, okay? So right now we have power with a company, okay? So that's why you don't need to be here all the time, all year long, okay? So you can travel back and forth to different markets if you like, yeah. Yeah.
When is the next application? You haven't said any dates.
The next application it's May 5th. May 5th till May 26th. Okay, yeah, next month.
How long is it going to take to get the results?
The results are going to be like mid-July. Mid-July.
How many companies apply for the first generation?
Yeah, so the first application process we selected 9 companies. Yeah, how many applied? Sorry. Yeah, we had 44 applications. So it's like 20% of them. Yeah.
When is the next application process? You have 25th, 26th, and then when's the next one?
And the next one is going to be in September. It's always the same time as Startup Chile.
Oh, okay.
It's the same period of time. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, when, or actually, can I apply not right after graduating from Startup Chile? Can I apply for any further applications, basically?
So the ones who can apply are alumni for no longer than a year. Okay, so let's make an example. If you're for generation 11th, you can apply in this May, September, next February, and next May once again. Okay, so you have basically 4 opportunities. Okay, but if you do get it the second time, it's very difficult that you get it in a third time. Okay, but you have 4 opportunities. So what I recommend for you is that right now the generation 12 cannot apply to this one. So I would suggest for them to apply in September or in next year, the first application. Okay, those 2 opportunities are the ones that better fitted for you because you have more time in order to show more traction and everything. Yeah.
What happened with the old generations? Like, I'm from Gen 6.
Yeah.
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 That's why they came.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not possible for you to apply if you're from generation 6. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm Chilean, so that's why I'm asking this. I've seen that most of the time you're asking for goals that are really hard to get, even when you have a company that has 3 years of it. For the Start-Up Chile program, and now for scale. So it seems more of the same thing. I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Even though, like, all the time the CORFO people would say, hey, you gotta get this, we still having the same issue. It's such a short time. Even though now you're extending the time with the scale, you may have the same problem again. So it's really hard to be successful because you cannot spend all that much money in such a short time. And companies and teams need to get older altogether and have mistakes. And also, like, it's pretty much very hard to keep up with the applications. See?
Yeah. Well.
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
It's very old. I've seen that with many companies. And it's like the same thing again. So I don't see a point of that. It's not that I'm
Well,
against the new
Yeah, well, I don't know. We selected 9 companies that they were fitted in those, with those criteria. We selected 2 Chilean companies in those. So, yeah, not every company is going to fit in this, unfortunately. But we cannot do one product from every different selection of companies. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
How many times can you apply? Like, for example, if you apply the first time and you fail, can you like apply the second time and then you've got better traction that time and perhaps try again?
Yeah, well, we're going to accept every application that you can make. So you have, as I said before, you have 4 opportunities for doing that. So you're from Gen 9, right? So you have opportunities for applying until this one and the next one in September. So you have 2 opportunities right now. Yeah. There in the back.
Yeah, 2 questions. One is, are there any requirements on the types of companies that you would need to have here in Chile? For example, like in the US, you have LLCs and you have S corporations and C corporations. And as I understand, Chile has similar structures. Is there any requirements around that?
Yeah, no, there's no requirement, in the type of company that you can have. You can have SPA or SRL or CA, whatever you like. Yeah, most of the time are SPA or SRL. That's the most common one. Yeah, but there's no restriction in that area. Yeah, so you cannot have the ARL. It's like the individual company. That's the only one because there's no point.
And then the other thing was that there seemed to be involved in the application several technical documents. Is there any instruction on what those are and how to fill them out, where to get them, so on?
Yeah, well, there will be information in the same application form describing what documents you need, because you have to attach some signed documents and, well, incorporation documents that shows that you have at least 15% of the company, things like those. But once again, you can always ask if you have questions about the documents. Okay.
Will there be any examples, like for example, the budget and stuff?
Yeah, for the budget, it's going to be example. It's going to be like already like done example. Yeah, like that.
Can the Chilean company be 100% owned by a foreign company?
100%? No, because you or the beneficiary has to have 15% directly. Directly, yeah, no, through another company. Yeah.
Do you absolutely need to have traction? If you're a company like we're from Generation 11, we're just ending our prototype, which is hardware. We're going to start, hopefully having sales within next month. But by the time of the application, we're only going to have just a couple of sales. So is it mandatory, or if you can show good potential and sales in like the last 2 weeks, is that something good? Or do you need to have at least $40,000?
No, you don't need only sales, because the things that I put up in the presentation, the companies don't feed it to all that stuff once. If you have sales, it's something that very directly you can see that this model is working, right? But you can show through distributors that you already had a relationship with, how big is the market, how is the market growing, if you have investments from private, that also shows that you have traction. So there's different ways to show that, yeah. Yeah.
Do the sales from overseas have to have been declared through SII?
No. No, you don't have to declare the sales through SII. No. We will ask you for the documents from that company to see, hey, yeah, you actually have the sales. Because if you say you have 100K in sales in the past year, you have to show some documents. But yeah.
Okay, the private investment could be from a family holding.
Well, it needs to be private. Yeah. I already have sales.
You already have sales, yeah. Right. Yeah, well, that's going to fall in the criteria of the committee. We always go to the committee and recommend the companies that we see that are fitting the criteria, and they make the final decision. They decide that this is real or not real traction, or how can we believe this company they actually have this investment, okay, from where it's come. Because if you have a company with no market opportunities and you have investments like, well, this investment is not very that real, you know. Well, yeah, it depends in that scenario. Yeah.
So you announced results for this window in July, and when does the program start, so to speak?
Yeah, from the point that you get accepted, it takes at least 1 month and a half, 2 months in order to get the money to the company. Yeah. Someone else? Yeah.
I got tell which was the companies that got selected in the first place.
Yeah, we did it. It's on it's on the blog, and yeah, it's public.
Can you tell a little bit more about the process of, because I've heard there's like staff from Startup Chile presents your project to CORFO, and how does that work? Because I mean, it's kind of hard for me to imagine someone else presenting your project other than the founder, right?
Yeah, well, we're figuring that out because the first application was like a pilot, so we learned a lot about how to evaluate the startups, because they're from different industries, they're in different stages sometimes. But basically, they need to have a clear model. We already seen these startups going through the program for 6 months, so we know who they are. We have seen a lot from them. They went through the pitch day, they went through the demo day. Some of them, not all the selected ones went through demo day. Okay, so that's a lot that we understand, that we learned. So in this new evaluation, we're not quite sure if we're going to ask the recommended ones to go to the committee. Okay, we can do that. But that's why I put the video there. So it's very important for you to make a very good professional video, okay? Because the committee is going to be that video. It's only 2 minutes, but you have an opportunity there, okay? A huge opportunity, yeah. Because not all of you are going to be here in Chile once we get to the committee, okay? I'm not sure. So if I give the possibility to everyone, I need to be sure that everyone is going to be here in Chile. So it's not that easy, because from the 40 that we evaluated, just 20 were here in Chile at that same time, and some of the Chileans were not here in Chile also. So it's a bit difficult. Yeah. Yeah, it's everything is in English. Yeah. The what's it called the budget, it's in Chilean pesos, okay, not dollars. Okay, it's because you're going to receive the money in Chilean pesos. So the budget is in Chilean pesos, not in US dollars. We have a couple of companies that put the budget in US dollars. Yeah. Yeah.
So then just about the video, are you guys looking for more like just the founders pitching to the camera type of thing, or like one of those, you know, fancy like cartoon explainer video type of things?
Yeah, no, we need to see you. The committee needs to understand who is there, who are the real persons that are going to work in this, okay? the founder from Start-Up Chile, the beneficiary from Start-Up Chile, and some of the people are going to work here in Chile. Because as you can see, some of the beneficiaries from Start-Up Chile are going to open here in Chile, but they're going to be coming and going, so there's going to be like a country managers in some kinds, so that person needs to be there, okay? And because you need to see how clear they are describing the project. That's very important. So we don't want to see cartoons in the videos, okay? Just you, plain simple, yeah.
So just like with the first video, you want the whole thing in English as well?
Yeah,
totally in English. Got it.
Someone else? Yeah. Oh, the video can be in Spanish also. You can decide, okay? You can decide English or Spanish, okay?
So, but then the video can be not just founders talking for 3 minutes, but showing the product, perhaps, like a product demo.
Yeah, always you can show the project, but when you see the people, you understand a bit more clearly, right? But you can also make a demo, yeah.
In return for the funding, is it similar to Start-Up Chile, in which the entrepreneurs who are successful at scale have to do RBA points, are there mandatory days, and what other support will Start-Up Chile be able to provide to entrepreneurs other than the money? Is there anything there, or is it just the money?
Yeah, so one thing I didn't talk about is that you'll have to do some RVS, but they're going to be much more smooth for you, okay? So you're going to have, because we selected just 10 companies, so we've linked in these companies. These entrepreneurs are very well known, so they'll have to mentor at least 2 or 3 companies from Start-Up Chile or from other companies from CORFO, okay? But you'll go through that with Patricia from Start-Up Chile. You know Patricia, so he's going to guide you in that process, okay? Because you have 1 year, you have to do some things, but it's much more. You can see, yeah, it's much more. It's less time-consuming than in Start-Up Chile, okay?
Support other than money? Is there support other than money, or is it just mainly focused on?
Well, you're going to have you're going to be able to use the same space, and basically, well, you're going to be in Start-Up Chile once again, but it's just 1 year. You can travel whenever you want. It's a bit more free than in Start-Up Chile, okay? During this year, because right now we're going to deal with a company, not with a person, so it's a different relationship, okay? Someone else? No? Not I'm going. Yeah. Last question, guys? No? Yeah? Alessandro? You have to do the same thing, but you're going to have money to hire an accountant for doing that, okay? And we advise on doing that, okay? So please hire an accountant, you get selected, okay? Do that. Because with a company it's a bit different, okay? You have to deal with some other legal stuff, tax payments, and so you'll have to have an accountant, okay, for that. Anyone else? No? Yeah.
So, out of the 44 companies that applied, how many did you select and then take to CORFO, and how much? Did the 9 go to CORFO and they just said okay to everyone, or did they select a larger number?
It's a secret now. No. We had, I would say that we had around 13 to 14 companies that we thought they had chances, but at the end of the day, we recommended just 10 companies, okay? Because we know that that when you go to the committee, you want to recommend the ones that you're sure they're going to select, okay? Because we already went 4 years with the committee, so we know what they're looking for. So that's why I talk about those numbers, those figures about the companies. Okay, so you need to fit in a couple of them in order to get some chances. Okay, you can always have meetings with me or with Luke in order to show us what you think, and we can give you feedback in order so you can have a better application or apply in the stage that you have more possibilities. Yeah. Someone else? No? Well, so thank you guys. So as you cannot see it, but you'll have my email, right? So you can contact me directly or through STGO Startup Chile, and you can ask whatever questions you have. Okay? I'm always open for your questions. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Yeah.